Welcome to UK Learnings. After watch this video, please subscribe to give us your support. And don't forget to click bell icon to get more videos.
When did Protestant ideas begin to spread? 18th century, 17th century, 15th century, 16th century. The answer is 16th century. Protestant ideas gradually gained strength in England, Wales and Scotland during the 16th century. Which tribes invaded Britain after the Romans had left? The Jutes and the Anglo-Saxons, the Vikings, the Normans, the Celtics. The answer is the Jutes and the Anglo-Saxons. The Roman army left Britain in AD 410 to defend other parts of the Roman Empire and never returned. Britain was again invaded by tribes from northern Europe, the Jutes, the Angles and the Saxons. What is the capital of Northern Ireland? Cardiff, London, Belfast, Edinburgh. The answer is Belfast. Belfast is the capital city of Northern Ireland. What is an example of the Middle Ages architecture? The Queen's House in Greenwich, the O2 Arena, the London Eye, the White Tower in the Tower of London. The answer is the White Tower in the Tower of London. In the Middle Ages, great cathedrals and churches were built, many of which still stand today. Examples are the cathedrals in Durham, Lincoln, Canterbury and Salisbury. The White Tower in the Tower of London is an example of a Norman castle keep, built on the orders of William the Conqueror. How many times did Sir Jackie Stewart win the Formula One championship? 1, 4, 3, 2. The answer is 3. Sir Jackie Stewart, 1939, is a Scottish former racing driver who won the Formula One World Championship 3 times. How many Russian and Polish Jews came to Britain between 1870 and 1914? 120,000, 140,000, 30,000, 60,000. The answer is 120,000. People continued to come to Britain from other parts of the world. For example, between 1870 and 1914, around 120,000 Russian and Polish Jews came to Britain to escape persecution. How many years did Mary, the Queen of Scots, spend in prison? 4, 30, 11, 20. The answer is 20. Mary was Elizabeth I's cousin and hoped that Elizabeth might help her, but Elizabeth suspected Mary of wanting to take over the English throne, and kept her a prisoner for 20 years. Mary was eventually executed, accused of plotting against Elizabeth I. What was the most important principle of the Enlightenment? New technological advances, constitutional democracy, complete democracy, freedom of religion and political views. The answer is freedom of religion and political views. One of the most important principles of the Enlightenment was that everyone should have the right to their own political and religious beliefs and that the state should not try to dictate to them. Which general remains a controversial figure in Ireland? Oliver Cromwell, Nelson, James Cook, Francis Drake. The answer is Oliver Cromwell. Cromwell was successful in establishing the authority of the English Parliament in Ireland, but did this with such violence that even today Cromwell remains a controversial figure. How long does Diwali normally last for? 5 days, 8 days, 3 days, 7 days. The answer is 5 days. Diwali normally falls in October or November and lasts for 5 days. It is often called the Festival of Lights. When did the Romans successfully invade Britain? 55 BC, 63 BC, 63 AD, 43 AD. The answer is 43 AD. Julius Caesar led a Roman invasion of Britain in 55 BC. This was unsuccessful and for nearly 100 years Britain remained separate from the Roman Empire. What did the Magna Carta do? Allowed to collect taxes, introduced Christianity, introduced democracy, restricted king's power. The answer is restricted king's power. The Magna Carta established the idea that even the king was subject to the law. It protected the rights of the nobility and restricted the king's power to collect taxes or to make or change laws. which castles are in use to this day? Edinburgh and Aberdeen, Edinburgh and Windsor, Edinburgh and London, Edinburgh and Dublin. The answer is Edinburgh and Windsor. Castles were built in many places in Britain and Ireland, partly for defense. Today many are in ruins, although some, such as Windsor and Edinburgh, are still in use. Who is the heir to the throne? Prince William, Prince Harry, Prince Philip, Prince Charles. The answer is Prince Charles. The Queen's eldest son, Prince Charles, the Prince of Wales, is the heir to the throne. Where was William Shakespeare born? Berkshire, Stratford-upon-Avon, Essex, London. The answer is Stratford-upon-Avon. Shakespeare, 1564 to 1616, was born in Stratford-upon-Avon, England. Delete. When did the first farmers arrive in Britain? 6,000 years ago, 8,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago. The answer is 6,000 years ago. The first farmers arrived in Britain about 6,000 years ago. The ancestors of these first farmers probably came from Southeast Europe. These people built houses, tombs and monuments on the land. Delete. Who led the Scottish army during the Battle of Bannockburn? William the Conqueror, King Alfred the Great, Robert the Bruce, Edward I. The answer is Robert the Bruce. In Scotland, the English kings were less successful. In 1314 the Scottish, led by Robert the Bruce, defeated the English at the Battle of Bannockburn, and Scotland remained unconquered by the English. Who was the Iron Duke that defeated the Emperor Napoleon? Churchill, Admiral Nelson, Sir Christopher Wren. Wellington. The answer is Wellington. In 1815, the French wars ended with the defeat of the Emperor Napoleon by the Duke of Wellington at the Battle of Waterloo. When was the Scottish Parliament established? 1999, 1998, 1997, 2000. The answer is 1999. There has been a Welsh Assembly and a Scottish Parliament since 1999. Delete. Which of the events is the landing of Allied forces in Normandy? The Battle of Britain, the Dunkirk Spirit, the Blitz, D-Day. The answer is D-Day. On the 6th of June 1944, Allied forces landed in Normandy. This event is often referred to as D-Day. Delete. When was the Giant's Causeway formed? 60 million years ago, 50 million years ago, 40 million years ago, 70 million years ago. The answer is 50 million years ago. Located on the northeast coast of Northern Ireland, the Giant's Causeway is a land formation of columns made from volcanic lava. It was formed about 50 million years ago. Where did the canal builders come from in the Middle Ages? Italy, Holland, France, Germany. The answer is Holland. People came to England from abroad to trade and also to work. Many had special skills, such as weavers from France, engineers from Germany, glass manufacturers from Italy and canal builders from Holland. What tells us about how people lived just after the Norman conquest? Historical landmarks. The Bayeux Tapestry. The Domesday Book. Historical villages. The answer is the Domesday Book. William sent people all over England to draw up lists of all the towns and villages. The people who lived there, who owned the land and what animals they owned were also listed. When did the development of a free press happen? 1695, 1755, 1832, 1805. The answer is 1695. From 1695, newspapers were allowed to operate without a government license. Increasing numbers of newspapers began to be published. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe, share, like, and don't forget to click the bell icon to get more videos.